Folks, welcome to your week. We are doing this again. It's a pop culture roundup. She just touched down back in New York because Snarkbait took over Los Angeles this last couple of days, and I actually did get to meet up with our co-host every week, the one, the only, Sophie Ross. Sophie.
Hi, Ryan. And can
Hi.
I just say that we ended up seeing Kanye West at Chateau Marmont. Took a picture with him. Obviously, we do not endorse his views. We were just freaking out that we were like, okay, like Chateau Marmont, haha, what if we actually saw someone famous? Like, that would be cool, but like, it probably won't happen.
Guys, she's not joking, first off. This is not a bit, or this is not we went to Elon Musk's wedding. This is very real. That Sophie did meet Kanye West on Saturday night at Jesse Lally's favorite establishment, the Chateau Marmont. So I need to know, because I saw you on Friday night. I was at a party on Saturday, and I thought I was sharing exciting news with Sophie about something else, which we might talk about. And then she goes, hey, we just met Kanye West. And then she shows me a photo of Kanye West and Christy, her co-host for Snarkbait. And you guys, the way I studied this image where I was like, oh, this is AI. I was almost positive you had sent me an AI image.
People thought it was either AI or like a wax figure. Something about him looks very uncanny in the image. But
yes.
It was 100% real. And again, just want to reiterate, I'm Jewish. Like, I don't support being a Nazi. I'm obsessed with celebrities.
By the way, that was my first question to Sophie. And Rebecca was right next to me and goes, did you tell Kanye she's Jewish? And that's what I texted you.
Joke's on him though, because like he shook my hand. So like jokes on him. And also my hands were still wet from the bathroom. I was like embarrassed for a second. And then I was like, ha.
Oh, way to share that you wash your hands after you go to the bath. Oh, you're better than all of us. Oh, I get it.
Oh my God. No, but sometimes I wear like a Jewish star or something. I wasn't like, I wasn't wearing it that night, but I was like, thank God I wasn't. Oh my God. But
so you're at Chateau Marmont. I knew you guys were going there. So you're there. Are you having dinner or drinks or both, or what was the story?
We did drinks. We were only there for like a brief. The thing about the Snarkbait team, we're all on the same page about like, okay, it's couch time. Like, let's go home. It's couch time. Like, we were like literally about to leave, and we'll share like the nitty gritty and the actual the conversations that we had with Kanye.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, you got to share one, though. I mean, listen, just as a tease for Snarkbait. So I have so many questions. First off, I had asked you if Bianca was there. You said Bianca Sensori was not there. But I would imagine there would be security everywhere where you couldn't even approach this dude.
So that's basically what tipped off Christy, my co-host, my Snarkbait co-host. If you listen to Snarkbait, she's the best. She's such an expert because she saw a security guard. Yeah. And that's when she was like, I need to do one last lap. Like, there's a celebrity here. That is a security guard. So that's why she did one last lap, spotted him, and approached him from a place of, hey, like, I really like TLOP, The Life of Pablo, like, meant a lot to me. Like, before he fully fell off the deep end, she was like, that album, like, genuinely meant a lot to me. And Christy, again, she co-hosts a podcast with a Jewish woman. She's not an anti-Semite or Nazi. Yeah. She just appreciates that album in particular. So approached him as a fan. And then his entourage was like, he doesn't take pictures. And Kanye was like, we can do a picture. And the picture, and Ryan, this is the worst part. I captioned the picture on Instagram. We did a thing, like, as a joke. Like I was like, should I caption it? So this happened, or we did a thing. And we were all like, dude, we did a thing. The picture has made the rounds. It made it to the Yeezy X Gap page. It made it to the Kanye like fan subreddit. And they were like, we did a thing. Oh my God, I hate millennials. And I was like, guys, I'm not using that phrase earnestly. If you knew me, you knew I was being funny. It
should have been, that's showbiz, baby. That's the caption is, well, and he was nice, but you'll go into more detail on Snarkbait.
We'll go into more detail.
Did he make sense?
No.
He didn't make sense.
He definitely seemed like out of it. I think he appreciated the fact that Christy was like, hey, like, that album meant a lot to me. Like, she wasn't just trying to be like, oh, I want a picture because you're famous. She was like, you made art that was really helpful for me at one point in my life, which also Christy and I were talking about is what made his undoing so sad because so many people appreciate his art, including you.
I have every one of the vinyls. I used to go to every concert. I have all the Yeezus t-shirts. I mean, I was really rode for this guy. And still, his earlier music, I was going down a rabbit hole on TikTok where it was like a lot of unreleased tracks from like earlier sessions. And I was like, man, there was this one with that he used Moving Out, the Billy Joel song called Mama's Boyfriend that I had never heard before until this week. And I was like, man, it is just such a shame. And so interesting. I mean, but what a wild, but was he around a group of people at the table, or was it just him and security guards?
He was with an entourage, and then we ran into him again, like just in a different area of Chateau Marmont, and then we ran into him again. We were like, hey again. So yeah, we will run down everything on Snarkbait. But
guys, if you see the photo there is an AI image quality to the photo where I was like zooming in, because his face looks so smooth in it. And then I was like, and I've been fooled with AI photos lately so much that I was like, no, they're punking me right now. There's no way this is real.
No, it was 100% real. It was, just such a freaking funny story.
When's the Kanye Snarkbait episode? I mean, are we going to go into a rundown of his career?
We're doing an emergency press conference to talk about just like the entire interaction. Sure. We're recording on Monday morning, and so the episode should drop later on Monday. So check it out. Check out the
guys. It's going to be a big one.
But I bring this up, Ryan. Yeah. Because Olivia, our researcher, was more starstruck from meeting you.
That's right, baby, because I haven't fully lost my mind yet. I'm almost there, but I haven't fully. So they had their whole crew, the Snarkbait crew there, because they came down to LA to record in the Cloud 10 offices. Beautiful. Which was so awesome. And their team, the three girls that they work with, including Olivia, they were just so nice. I met them at Tom Tom on Friday night. Yeah. I'd always vowed not to go back to Tom Tom. And, but they were just all so really, really nice people. And it was just fun. It was like a geek fest. And Friday night, I thought Friday night was going to be the high watermark for you guys. And then you did the Kanye thing. But Friday, we go to Tom Tom. You guys were like 30 minutes late. So I'm in Tom Tom by myself. And the music is so overpowering in this place where I felt like, I talked about this on the Patreon where I was like, I feel like an old man. I'm just like sitting here flipping on TikTok. Like the music is overpowering. And then you guys come in and it's still a little dead at Tom Tom. And you were like, is there any Valley or Vanderpump Rules people here? And I was like, no, I don't think, I haven't seen anybody, because I was really scared Sandoval was going to pop up. And I was like, I'm out if Sandoval's here. But we did. So then I think it was like 5 minutes within them arriving, Zach Wickham from the Valley and his boyfriend Benji come in. I mean, just like, I'm talking like 5 minutes after Sophie said this. And the way Sophie gushed like a little girl was incredible. I mean, but it really was like the perfect arrival for, I mean, we didn't know that. That just happened out of nowhere.
It was amazing. Yeah. We talked to Zach, who was so nice. We talked about Kentucky because, like, you guys know I'm from Cincinnati. Basically the same thing.
You talked about Skyline Chili.
We talked about Skyline Chili. Yeah, Zach was super sweet. He's looking great.
Yeah, he looks good. I got to meet, he showed me his Scrotox. That was amazing. And no, I didn't. No, but I got to meet Benji. And then my good buddy Logan, who is the manager at Tom Tom, was there. And I didn't see him when I was there by myself. And he's just a really solid dude. I've known him since like 2017 or so, like such a long time. So it was so great to see him. But Zach, it was interesting. And then, of course, I talked to Zach and I'm like, here's what I like about the reunion and here's what I don't like. Like I started getting into the weeds where I was like, you're making a lot of comments under your breath that the mic can pick up, but I need you to scream that with your whole chest. So, and he's like, no, you don't realize. He's like, we didn't know the placing on the couches until we got there that day. And we had just like had to watch all of the episodes because we filmed it early because of Doute and Nia. So we didn't like, it would have been a lot more explosive if we had filmed it later. And I was like, no, it was still pretty explosive. But he said they start filming, like we said, in 2 weeks, they start filming.
Yeah. And you said something, I don't know if this is supposed to be off the record, but you said you're pretty sure that Scheana and Lala are going to be full time.
I know, yeah. I mean, like I said, I knew Sandoval wasn't coming back, but that is what I'm hearing. So we'll see. And then I told Zach, I said, how are they going to, because you would think with the amount of, and we had mentioned this there, and on the recap I did, I read the whole Time magazine article calling for the cancellation of the Valley. And, it is so dark. Yeah. Everybody says that, but it's like, I don't think they can. I think they're going to try to course correct in some way, but you can't make this show fun when it's really never been fun before. And I said, right. Zach, is everybody going to have this kumbaya moment where you're all of a sudden going to team building exercises? And he's like, I wouldn't go if there was. And I was like, LOL. So it seems like they're still in a dark place going into the third season.
Well, it's like, do we want fun or do we want reality?
Well, I mean, that's the question that's the sad question I ask myself every night, because this is my life, is that what is acceptable? What is crossing the line?
Right.
And, I talked to a reality show producer on Friday, and this was like off record, and it wasn't for the show, but I wanted some clarification on thoughts I have. And they were assuring me, it's like, no matter what we think, there is actually a deep concern by production and the network for these people, is that they will try to protect them in certain ways. And I'm not talking about Jax here. I think Jax dug his own grave, even though they have tried to help him multiple times. But they aren't, it's a really delicate conversation, but at the same time, it's like they are not out to destroy these people's lives. In fact, they were using an example of back in the day on The Bachelor. The producers of The Bachelor would get bonuses if they got their reality stars into some sort of really big traumatic scene. You would get bonuses as a producer.
That's like the show Unreal.
Yeah, he said, but that was back in the day on The Bachelor specifically. I believe it. Very real. But with Bravo, that is not the case at all. So I think it's a slippery slope of like, it's got to be one of the weirdest jobs ever, because you are dealing with people's real lives. And then on the Valley, it all of a sudden doesn't become about their real lives. It becomes about their lives have turned into social media and what people are saying on podcasts and memes. And you're seeing that on this season of Real Housewives of Orange County as well. And I think that gets a little too into the weeds. But at a certain point, if you're on television this long, it becomes about something other than actual human interaction.
Right. I think I understand the concern. Like, I read the Time article. Like, I understand the concern. Obviously, it doesn't. Bravo, like you said, they don't want to be a network that is putting people in dangerous situations or glamorizing domestic abuse or platforming domestic abusers or glamorizing sexual assault or trying to excuse it or whatever it is. But again, it's like, these people are fucking insane. And that is why it's a show that, in my opinion, works, even if it is a dark watch. We have Summer House for the light fare, And
by the way, that is even not the lightest fare out there, but it's lighter than the Valley, And maybe it would be different if the Valley met up every weekend in Palm Springs and we just filmed their weekend interactions instead of their actual lives. And the fact that the kids are ever present on the Valley, that's the thing that's like, oh. So then people like Zach actually end up being the comic relief or being somewhat of a reliable narrator, even though Zach's had his own issues on that show, because he doesn't have kids that, like, you're not immediately frightened because you're like, oh my God, they have children that they're dealing with as well as the children that are their castmates.
Right. Yes. And that's, I think, the point where I get kind of like morally confused about it, because I'm like, wait, but there are kids. There are kids involved. Like, oh, maybe this is really fucking bad. But maybe we should cancel it all. But okay, can I just circle back to Lala and Scheana really fast?
Yeah.
No one wants Lala. Scheana, okay,
Scheana, fine. I know the argument for Scheana, and I agree with, like, I know that she can actually provide, like, something. The Lala of it all, the only thing I can make sense of is that they must think that Lala is some sort of reliable narrator that can bridge some sort of gap.
Absolutely not.
I don't know how they're going to use her. And if Schwartz comes back in a friend of capacity, if they try to, like, pigeonhole some kind of Lala Schwartz romance, I will riot. Now I want to talk about our friends over at Mint Mobile. So you know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. And that is why I made the switch to Mint Mobile, and I am saving oodles of money. And now, for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month on the nation's largest 5G network. You're going to say goodbye to jaw-dropping monthly bills, those unexpected overages. Oh my God, one summer I paid an insane amount in overages. Mint Mobile is going to be here to rescue you. So it comes with that high-speed data, the unlimited talk and text on that largest 5G network. So ditch your overpriced wireless network and get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. I love it. So this year, what are we going to do? We're going to skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/sobad. That's important. Mintmobile.com/sobad. Even though it's so good. That's mintmobile.com/sobad. Upfront payments of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. We are talking about our friends at Quince today. Now, I just wore a Quince product the other night. I wore my beautiful, breathable navy sports jacket, which has come so in handy this summer. I'm actually overusing it. So why drop a fortune on basics when you don't have to? Quince has the good stuff, high-quality fabrics, classic fits, and lightweight layers for warm weather, all at prices that make sense. Everything I've ordered from Quince has been nothing but solid. They have the closet staples you're going to want to reach for over and over, like cozy cashmere and cotton sweaters from just $50, breathable flow knit polos, and comfortable lightweight pants that somehow work for both weekend hangs and dressed up dinners. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you the luxury pieces without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. So, you got to keep it classic and cool, like your boy Ryan, LOL. You're going to have long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/sobad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/sobad to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sobad. Folks, I have a new product I'm obsessed with, and that is IndaCloud. Some days, your brain needs a vacation your body can actually afford, and that's where IndaCloud comes in. You juggle the chaos. Listen, I'm talking about Bravo's The Valley for 3 hours at a clip. I do that. I have to answer emails. You even go outside sometimes. So yeah, you've earned a better way to unwind. Enter IndaCloud. It's federally legal THC in the form of gummies, pre-rolls, and flower designed to turn hanging on into fully chilling. So, if you're 21 or older, head to indacloud.co, indacloud.co, and use code SOBAD, even though it's so good, to get 25% off your first order plus free shipping. That's indacloud.co, code SOBAD, 25% off, free shipping. Just a better vibe in your mailbox. I got to tell you, the first time I tried IndaCloud, I was having a night, right? I was really super burned out. I had been talking about Jax Taylor for a very long time, and that can really eat at you. And then I took a gummy, and everything kind of just fell away. I was able to tune out my work and just vibe. We love to say the word vibe, and I was vibing. So whether you're chasing deeper sleep, better focus, or just some peace between your streaming marathons, okay, that's directed totally at me. This is how adults get elevated now. If you're 21 or older, just to remind you, now is your chance to float above the stress because IndaCloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus free shipping. Just use code SOBAD or click the link in the show notes to claim your discount. That's indacloud.co, indacloud.co. Use code SOBAD for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. Fill out their quick survey when you order to support this show. That is really important, and I appreciate that in advance. And make your week more enjoyable. All thanks to IndaCloud.
Okay, that would be like insane. I think, yeah, in terms of like the reliable narrator of it all, No, we have.
No.
I would say we have Doute for that. I think Doute has taken on that role.
That's interesting. That's actually because it's like kind of a 2025 version of a reliable narrator.
Yeah.
Whereas Lala, we've always said, is that I find Lala actually entertaining at times, but when she acts like she's above it all or that she can comment on everybody else's relationship, it almost comes off like her own shit doesn't stink when we know that Lala probably has a very dramatic life to some degree. And there's somebody that also has a beautiful family. She has a new daughter and also Ocean as well. So she has like this beautiful family. I just think, to your point earlier, you are like we already consider you insane if you want to be on a reality television show.
The thing that pisses me off about Lala is that she has literally zero loyalty. Like no loyalty. Like her performance every season will be whatever side she thinks the audience will be on. That's how she is. It's not genuine. Nothing about her is genuine or loyal or entertaining to watch anymore. And no one wants to watch her.
Well, I think that's why we like Doute this season, because even if Doute's loyalties are like, we know Doute's loyalties. Even if sometimes we don't agree with the loyalties, we know what they are. And, so to that fact, you're like, okay, I can go with Doute on this kind of journey. I'm just curious how you go into season 3 after this reunion, especially if you're a character like Janet, where how do you not let the audience's opinions affect how you show up? Because either you double down and then it becomes like even drastically worse, or you course correct, which we don't want to see either. So you're like damned if you do, damned if you don't, if you're a character like Janet on this show.
Yeah. Oh my God. Janet, you're a clown. You're a clown, bro. Also, and again, we're going to talk about this more on Snarkbait, but went to something about her.
You went there yesterday. On Saturday, right? You went there on Saturday and you said you actually dug the sandwich.
Terry was there.
Terry Maloney.
She was so nice. She was awesome. like, so how is everything? And I was like, what, Terry? Remember when Raquel said that?
You gave her Raquel? Yeah.
No, she was so sweet, so adorable. We had a whole conversation with her. She was so sweet. And can I just say my sandwich, at least? I got the Reese, which was the chicken salad sandwich on multigrain bread.
Okay, somebody's a food blogger good. All of a sudden. Food blogger alert.
You guys, it was so good. Like, I'm very picky about chicken salad. I don't like when it's super creamy or chunky. It was like the perfect consistency. It was not super creamy. It felt very light. It was so good. Like, I am still thinking about that sandwich. I'm going to think about it for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we left Tom and then we went to Sir, and I was catching an Uber from Sir, and immediately Guillermo was there, which was he very sweet, cleaned off a table for you guys.
So sweet. He was so sweet. And we went back on Saturday and we saw him again, and we saw one of the new Vanderpump Rules cast members named Shane. He's supposed to be like the
bad boy.
He's supposed to be like the non-evil Jax Taylor. Like he's kind of like that good-looking player type, but apparently he's not as, It'd
just be great if they go against the grain and they just cast all ugly people. It's just a bunch of uggos, just like, and people just really trying to do their job. They're like, I'm just trying to sell drinks here. That's all I'm trying to do.
Like, I'm just trying to bust this table. Can you get the camera out of my face?
It's the most boring reality show ever. It's just like, we have cleanup at table number 5.
He was super nice, though. Very attractive, obviously. We took a picture with him because we were like, we don't know who you are yet, but like, we're gonna know who you are. So like,
that's something you can pass down to your kids later when this kid blows up.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, these are your last few months of like being normal, Shane. Like,
did he say thank God? Did he say thank God?
He goes, I'm just trying to soak it all in,
Wait, on the check with the tip, you should have wrote like, P.S. run as far away from this place as you can.
No, seriously. But he actually, we were talking to him. He doesn't work there. He was like, oh, you watched the original, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, obviously. Why do you think I'm here?
Why? God, we're so old. The original? God.
Yeah, the original.
Shut
and
up.
He goes, you know how Schwartz didn't work there, but was still part of the cast? He was like, that's me.
Oh, wait. So he was just hanging out there.
Yeah. Well, he's basically the friend of like the Schwartz
Oh,
The
okay.
Schwartz, where he's not a SUR employee, he's just someone that is still part of the group and part of the cast.
Well, Schwartz dated Katie, so I wonder if this dude dates one of the bartenders or the waitresses.
He wasn't giving us too much tea, but he said that there are a few hookups with him involved.
What if this guy just lied to you to try to hit on you guys? You're like, yeah, I'm in the new Vanderpump. It's going to be great. I wonder if there's a DJ character. If there's like a DJ Randy Meyer or something like who's the DJ?
I don't know, but I'm like ready for it. And I know that everyone it's like in pretty much exactly 2 months, right?
Yeah, October 26th, I believe it premieres. And from what I hear, they're saying listen, if you are expecting a continuation of Vanderpump Rules, you'll be disappointed, obviously. These are all new characters.
Yeah.
But if you're in it for a next-gen NYC, getting you have to have 2 seasons of any show to really kind of get, even Vanderpump itself, even though it had an amazing first season, people didn't fully catch up to it until the 3rd season. I think that's even when I hopped on board because I was so pissed that they aired the Vanderpump Rules pilot right after Beverly Hills. And I was like, how dare you try to jam this down my throat? And so I fought against it and then went back and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So it's going to be interesting because I think people are going to immediately hate on it and then eventually love it. Maybe.
Well, that's the same with everything, right? That's the same thing with Next Gen NYC.
Yeah.
Southern Hospitality. Even I remember, speaking of backdoor pilots, Summer House. No one was super jazzed about Summer House.
When Kyle was hitting on Stassi in the hot tub, I was like, this guy's wasted and he's you look like Steve Jobs right now. It was funny, but it takes a while for us to open our hearts to any other toxic characters.
Yeah, exactly. But then we're all going to end up loving it. That's why I'm like, hold your judgment. I know that it's going to be different than the original, but everyone's going to end up liking it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if they just repeat the pilot and some girl's like, I'm the devil and don't you forget it. And you're like, we've heard all of these lines. Wait, so did you go to SUR after Chateau or was that the warm up to the Chateau?
No, we went because we ate at Something About Her, and then we wanted to walk to the Grove. We got way too hot.
You guys crazy?
No, we ended up getting an Uber to the Grove, but we walked past SUR, and we had to go to the bathroom. Something About Her doesn't have a bathroom. One piece of feedback that I should have told Terry is that they should have a restaurant have a bathroom.
Hey, Terry, where can I take a shit in this place?
Where's the John, lady?
Hey, Terry, don't worry, I wash my hands.
But stopped at SUR again during the day. And
oh man, SUR during the daytime. That's like a haunted house.
I know. You know what?
What were the vibes for you in the SUR Alley? Because you went to the SUR Alley. What was was there any kind of dark presence that you felt? Or
eighth wonder of the world?
Yeah, truly the eighth wonder of the world.
Oh my God. The fact that we were on our way to, what's the restaurant? Start with the C. Cicconi's. We were on our way to a restaurant, Cicconi's. We were about to get out. It's right by, SUR Tom. About to get out of the Uber. And I'm like, wait, you guys, that's the SUR Alley.
Yeah.
And we all just were drawn to it like a moths to a flame. And they added the word alley under SUR. So it's SUR Alley.
That's weird. I have not seen it since they added the alley, I don't think. But I feel like that really should be a historical landmark, that Los Angeles votes things for historical landmarks. And I feel like that should be protected because Lisa's going to one day try to set fire to SUR for insurance, allegedly, I assume. And I want that SUR Alley to survive. The SUR can go away, but I want the SUR Alley to always be there and standing.
I completely agree. And there were cigarette butts on the table out there. And we were like, are these props? Were these placed here, as part of the experience, or was someone just smoking here and left them here? We genuinely couldn't tell.
Oh, I would put Stassi's cigarettes in lucite glass and just put it out there like an exhibit.
Yeah.
That's all. And I talked to Guillermo when I was with you guys, and I think he's going to come on the podcast, which I think Guillermo would be a fascinating person to talk to just because of what he's seen. And the dude also has a decently successful acting career on top of all of it. But that dude's seen some shit, and he's the nicest guy.
Yeah. So nice. Oh my God. He was there again on Saturday. He was just so, so, so sweet. Also met his daughter. His daughter was working as a hostess. He's just such a great guy.
Oh, man. The fact that he trusts his family to work there as well. It's
wait,
where was Peter?
did not see Peter the entire weekend, which,
that
was my one. I remember last time I went to Sir, I saw Peter and he was not the friendliest. He was not the nicest to me when I saw him I think it was 2 years ago. I was fully expecting to see him, but no, he was nowhere in sight either Friday night or Saturday.
Yeah, no, I always said Peter got sometimes the short end of the stick because he was like literally actually working there.
Actually
he didn't
working.
pretend. He was like counting out waitresses' tips at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And all these other people are on book tours and stuff like that. So it's got to be a little frustrating. So anyways, that's going to be great. Listen to Snarkbait for the rest of their trip. And especially I got to hear the Kanye stuff. So this is a good promotion for Snarkbait. It was amazing seeing you. So let's get into some pop culture news that kind of, it's all news anyways. But the last thing about the Valley I wanted to talk about was one specific moment regarding Andy Cohen telling Jesse Lally of like, yo, because his girlfriend allegedly or did come to the Zen party with the finale after she thought they had finished shooting. And Jesse was like, yeah, cameras were down. And Andy goes, if I saw her, I'd strap a mic to her and I'd say, shoot her. If she was here right now, I'd do the same. That's the job. These producers were doing their job. And Andy got full. I was like, I was very aroused. I was like, this is amazing. Andy's like, and Jesse seemed like he was like a scolded child, which I loved. But that's the gig, right? Like you have to share these things. And then there was this big fight, Sophie, and I don't know if you saw on TikTok that Jesse Lally's girlfriend actually did comment on TikTok and said, now I low-key want to defend myself. I never threatened anything legal to Michelle after this night. I was never suing her. She didn't have a lawyer. I sent her and only her one letter in June regarding a statement she filmed saying where she said I endangered kids. This is both damaging and untrue. She personally replied, no lawyer needed, and said she won't say that again. I don't know how that steamrolled into her and Janet dragging me about being sue happy. By the way, I've never sued anyone in my life, LOL. I felt totally backed into a corner about looking like a bad parent person at the finale. I showed up after cameras went down, so it wasn't a closed set. Her drunk boyfriend, which would be Aaron, her drunk boyfriend grabbed me and I left. That's what happened. Jasmine has a video. Michelle begged her to delete, I assume, because she is screaming, not me. And I hope they air the security footage. So, oh my God, saying Aaron, the honey guy that she is no longer with, grabbed Jesse's girlfriend? What the fuck?
I believe her.
I don't know if I believe her, but
women.
But also Jasmine seems to be a really interesting chamber of secrets. Like she's got a lot of information. And the fact that Jasmine allegedly has a video of this going on. And
Bone collector. Everyone's saying, what's Jasmine's point on the show? Bone collector.
Yeah. I mean, but it is interesting. The Doute Janet fight, there's so many strays being thrown. Like they'll drag Jasmine into it. They'll drag Brittany into it. They'll like reveal things about these other people of like, well, Jasmine said this or Brittany said this in order to get at each other. But Jasmine, like to me, that's job security. When you have video like that, that means, well, we need you for season 3.
Yes.
That's great. So
agree.
But I want to know what the story is because they didn't break up after that night. They broke up just a couple weeks ago. So I wonder if situations like this, like what is Aaron's actual story and what will we hear from it? And to me, this was her saying, I signed up for season 3. Jesse's girlfriend.
Completely agree. Which, great. Like I want all of this to be unraveled. I don't know. I don't trust Jesse or Michelle, but I randomly trust Jesse's girlfriend.
Well, see, I haven't had the benefit to dislike her on screen yet, so I trust her.
Like I don't know her well enough to not. So I'm like, I would trust her with my life.
Well, I always say, like, there's nobody on that stage that I trust. Like, there's nobody, everybody is in some kind of weird, precarious position where, I mean, you could point to anybody for season 3 and I could assume that they're going to have a bad season.
Everyone's in a moral gray area. There's not one person who you're like, that is the hero of the show or the protagonist or the good guy. Like, they're all very morally ambiguous. Even Doute, who we were just saying is kind of like the reliable narrator, but, she's still Doute.
Yeah, she still does. I mean, and she even said, like, I might be a little different, but there's still some of that in me, which is great. But, like, the biggest winner for season 3, which they haven't even filmed yet, might be Jax Taylor. Just by not being on the show, you could wind up the biggest winner of that season.
Honestly, Unfortunately, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Sophie said on Friday that she had not yet listened to the New Heights podcast with Travis and his brother, Mr. Kelsey, and Taylor Swift. Did you listen or watch it on the plane?
No, I still haven't listened because Christy ended up recapping it for me, which I know I still need to listen to it myself. But from what it sounds like, they're endgame. And I think before this podcast, I was like on the fence about them being endgame. There was something about Travis. Maybe it's because I'm biased against, and we talk about this on Dark Energy Tuesday on Snarkbait, that comes out tomorrow. But there's always been something about Travis that gives thirsty to me and gives clout chasey. And again, maybe I'm biased because I don't like him as a Bengals fan, but like I was always worried that he was maybe using Taylor. But after this podcast, from what it seems like, they are endgame for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, and in-game is so, up in the air. Like, in-game, life is long. You never know. Like, they could be, like, really amazing for 15 years, start a family, and something could go wrong. Like, life is long. Relationships go through so many twists and turns, but it was so interesting for me to watch it because it was interesting to see them in the same space for 2 hours. And, you're like, okay, I think I get more of a sense is that they're both goofballs. They're, like, both nerdy. They love kind of pop culture, and they do love being in the public eye. And it was interesting from that standpoint. The thing that I wanted to throw at you is like, Taylor also just admitted, we knew this before, that she's a kook. She loves like numerology. She loves mysteries. She does Easter eggs everywhere she goes, which I think at like a certain point, it's like, Taylor, you got to calm down because you're going to give your fans strokes trying to figure out mysteries. In fact, I just want one thing where there's no mystery. So the fans already, through the New Heights podcast, this 2-hour interview, deciphered cryptic clues that are pointing towards that Taylor Swift has already signed up to be the Super Bowl halftime show performance artist in 2026. And the clues, this is insane, is that on the podcast, Taylor says she thinks about sourdough bread 60% of the time. The next Super Bowl marks the 60th edition and will take place at Levi's Stadium, home of the 49ers mascot, Sourdough Sam. So this is a big, they're like, this has got to be it. And then also, she thanked Jason Kelsey at the beginning of the podcast for screaming her praises for 47 seconds in the intro, a wink to her 47th Eras tour stop at Levi's Stadium. And then additionally, they came up with this smart math. Favorite numbers, 13 equals 4 plus 7, and Travis Kelce's 13th NFL season is 2026.
My God.
What's wrong with Taylor and what's wrong with people? Like, those numbers even, I just don't like numbers to begin with, but I'm like, they're probably right. They probably nailed all of this.
Honestly, like, all of that sounds too crazy to be a coincidence. And, like, I wouldn't put it past her. Obviously, like you said, she's into that kind of thing. But I saw a tweet the other day that was like, we should all be singing Taylor Swift's praises for getting millions of white women to do this instead of fall into QAnon rabbit holes.
Well, yeah, it's Taylor Anon. It's a safer...
Taylor Anon, but it's so much lower stakes. Like, yeah, well, sure.
Sophie, people have lost their financial fortunes through just buying Taylor's. In fact, I was one of the guys that was literally on the website and bought a vinyl for her new album that's coming out in October, which, I'm extremely...
The life of a showgirl is
oh my God.
Follows.
Chrissy should have been like, any comments, Kanye, on Taylor's new album? Are you going to be any surprise like collaborations there, and just see where he might have found that hysterical?
Honestly, like, there are so many things I wish I would have said to him, including, Hey, I'm Jewish. Cool, right? Or like, fuck you, Nazi, or whatever.
Or like, how are the kids? How's Elon? When's the last time you talked to Kris Jenner?
You can't like predict how you will act in a situation like that. So I don't want anyone to judge me or judge Christy and I, judge either of us, because when you're in that position, like, I don't get starstruck often or like speechless, but someone that famous, I was like, I don't know how to act. I all of a sudden was very self-conscious about what I was wearing. I was like, oh my God, he thinks I'm so basic. I was like, why do I want to impress Kanye with my fashion?
Oh, I would not oh my God, I would be wearing Old Navy. It would just be so, but like, there is something, it's kind of like what I would imagine if you're like trying to run from a fire or a plane crash. You just don't know. Or like a zombie apocalypse. You don't know how you're going to react in that situation.
Exactly.
And I told you that one time at the Hollywood Bowl when I saw Kim and Chloe and they were carrying some of their kids. And I was like, they were like 2 feet from me and I didn't. Your mind can't comprehend all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. And, I've talked about them for so long. And I was just like, you would, if you told me, oh, Ryan, you wet yourself, I'd be like, I believe it because I just don't. Yeah. Like, it was such a weird moment to process. And that's their entire life. So yeah, Life of the Showgirl comes out in early, like October 11th or something like that, which that's going to be interesting. And people are up in arms already for so many reasons about the Taylor of it all. But there's a 12-track album, and one of the album songs, you guys, people are saying could possibly be about Blake Lively.
Yeah.
It's called End of the Friendship, I believe. Yep. And I don't think... I mean, Taylor does seem to be so savvy with the numbers. I don't know if she would flat out be that obvious. I mean, what do you think?
I also don't think that their friendship is actually like, I think that obviously it's been on the rocks through this whole Justin Baldoni thing. I don't think that they're actually not friends at all anymore. To the point where she would write a diss track about Blake Lively. Like, I don't think that it's really about Blake.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are wanting it to be about Blake. Yeah. I don't think it is. I think it's so on the nose. But there is one song called Canceled! ! And it's all capitals. And I do believe that is about our president, Donald Trump, because he would do these Truth Social rants recently about Taylor Swift. He'd be like, do you notice how Sydney Sweeney's hot and Taylor Swift isn't hot anymore? And it was like, Taylor Swift is canceled. So I do believe that song is about the president. I mean, I truly do believe that one because it was all in capital letters and the exclamation point.
With exclamation.
Which is how he does his Truth Social tweets.
Yeah, he goes, sad! Exclamation point.
Sad. So, I don't know. The other thing, too, Rebecca said she watched some of it with me and, she really liked it, but she was like, it bums me out because I feel like I do nothing with my life. Like how much she's like fucking making sourdough bread. And she's like, because we saw her in Sweden and now we found out that's where she was working on the album and she was doing the overseas tour and she'd do 3 shows in a row. And then she'd fly to Sweden and record with pop king Max Martin. And one of the shows we were at, Max Martin was there and she shouted him out. And turns out she was making this album. And I'm like, you're doing a 3-hour show and then you're like actually recording an album as well. That's the part. It really, I don't want to say superhuman because at the end of the day, it's what she loves and she, has all of this amazing stuff happen because of it. But man, it's hard to get out of bed for me in the morning.
Oh, I mean, the amount of creative output. I mean, she's kind of like the Ryan Bailey of performing. She is so prolific. I mean, the amount of episodes you do a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that different. Like it's just constant output from her. She's constantly feeding her fans and she's writing this original music. It's just crazy how much creativity she has. She doesn't look at some artists that need years between albums. I can't remember if it was Chappell Roan.
Chappell Roan said it might take 5 years for the new album to come out, which I don't believe she's, being truthful, but she says she really wants to work on it. Or think about Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean is another one that he really holds away.
And I don't blame them. And you know what? I will say, and this is coming from someone who loves Taylor Swift. I don't think I would call myself a hardcore Swiftie, but I love her music. I get very excited for her albums. I was disappointed by the Tortured Poets department because I feel like it was too much and maybe there needed to be more editing. There was just too many songs and I was just like, I don't know where to start. None of these are really hitting for me. Maybe we need to consolidate, edit. But she just has so much creativity. I don't blame her. She was just kind of I feel like it was an album where she's I have a lot to say. So I'm just going to say it all.
Well, that's what I'm scared is that I bought that vinyl. Then all of a sudden the next day there was 4 limited edition deluxe CDs of 4 different covers.
That's
and I'm
a little predatory.
And then my buddy Dusty was like, oh yeah, remember Tortured Poets is that you got the vinyl. And then the later that night she revealed, oh, by the way, I also wrote 14 other songs that are going to be on the exclusive deluxe version. And I was like, mother humper, now I have to buy another vinyl to because I have OCD with I want everything. And she knows people want everything.
That's how she gets gets you. That's how she, and I'm not saying it's a smart business move. She has a business that maybe if she had a business that she's passionate about, she does.
Yeah, she's following Kim Kardashian's credo of you got to get out there and work.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, she does.
Speaking of Kanye West, though, we got this news this week. A new documentary that he has approved called In Whose Name will be released on September 19th of this year. It covers 6 intense years of Kanye West's life. The footage spans over 3,000 hours, capturing private and raw moments from his Sunday services and presidential run to his divorce and spiraling controversies. I don't know if you saw the trailer, but Kim Kardashian is even in the trailer where Kim is crying, saying like, hey, just chill out. He's like, you won't tell me what to do. And it talks about like, his, I don't want to go on meds. I refuse to go on meds. And there's a gentleman who directed this. His name is Nico Ballesteros. And if you've seen like clips of Kanye in the past, there's always been this kid with like an iPhone rig following him around. This kid has been with Kanye for like 6 years doing this documentary. And Kanye has given full blessings to this. And so I am curious about this documentary.
I am too. Watch me and Christy be in it.
Oh my God. They're just, wait, was a kid there filming with an iPhone that night?
No. You're also like not supposed to like film at Chateau Marmont.
I'm not a big Chateau.
You went there. Like,
sorry, Sophie Lally. Okay, so that's coming out soon. And then also, in the same vein, Netflix, September 10th, is releasing AKA Charlie Sheen, which is a raw 2-part Netflix doc. It's directed by Andrew Renzi, and it's going to dig deep into Sheen's life from his Malibu childhood to his dramatic downfall. He has AIDS right now, which, obviously is something that you can keep in check with medicine. Denise Richards, all of his relationships. I mean, people don't remember the Charlie Sheen crash out of the early aughts where he said he was drinking tiger blood. I'm really curious about this. And, once again, Charlie is allegedly given full access to his life. And this is a little pocket of pop culture that I think people forget about, just how insane Charlie Sheen went.
Oh, what was his whole thing with winning?
Yeah, winning.
Yeah. I think I was in like middle school or something, and I remember this so vividly.
Same, girl, same. Yeah, no, but he was like on a bunch of, DRUGS, CRACK, like all of this, and he had like had a harem. He was trying to be Hugh Hefner, and he had a bunch of like adult film stars that were part of his like kind of coven for a time. And it was really weird because he was shooting 2.5 Men at the time before Ashton Kutcher took over, and he was keeping that going, but then he was doing these bizarre interviews. I mean, it was just truly like he was popping up on Howard Stern all the time. It was really crazy. So I'm interested to see if we get more kind of behind the scenes of but do you remember the Charlie Sheen rumors? Did you ever hear about this? About like he allegedly was the person that essayed Corey Haim on the set of the movie Lucas. I think Lucas, I don't know if you've ever seen, that might be too early for you, but it was a really charming teenage
I don't think
film.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, Corey Haim is no longer with us, but Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, the two Coreys, but there was always this rumor that Charlie Sheen was a part of Corey Haim's downfall. That's an extreme rumor, you guys. That's fully alleged, but I've heard that so many times over the years. But it was just something that popped into my head when I heard. I'm sure that's not going to be in this documentary, but it's something that's out there.
Yeah, I'm interested in watching that.
Do you know who I feel bad for this week? Pete Davidson. Did you see this, Sophie?
What happened with Pete? Oh, Pete Davidson was saying, if a woman got sexualized like I get sexualized, there would be riots in the street.
That's true.
Shut the fuck up, Pete.
Pete Davidson went on the Breakfast Club radio show, and he opened up about his emotional fallout of being known for big dick energy rather than his work. And he talked about it being embarrassing and deeply hurtful when media and fans fixated on his supposed anatomy, often calling him the fuck stick instead of recognizing his comedic talent or work on SNL that overshadowed his professional identity and left him feeling sad and objectified. And he raised that double standard, like you said, noting that if a woman were to subject to such sexualization, there would likely be protests, yet as a man, it was treated like innocent fun. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like women, like it's not even a fraction of what women have had to deal with. And so you've done this podcast with me for so many years. How many times have I begged for a big dick rumor out there about myself? Like John Hamm, like bitches and moans about when people say he's got one. Pete Davidson is now crying about one.
Well, John Hamm is a perfect example of we still focus on his work because his work is good.
Yeah. So wow, solid.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but, and obviously he's going to be a new father. And he also talked about the Ariana Grande joke when he was dating her, because Ariana Grande really did kind of, somebody on Twitter said, how big is Pete Davidson? And Ariana Grande had tweeted back 10 inches. And he just said that left him feeling humiliated and trapped in this narrative. And his career was overtaken by gossip. And I just thought, like, God, I mean, I like Pete Davidson, but the amount of luck that this man has had, and to complain about what about a small dick rumor? Like a small dick rumor, that would be horrible.
What about a micro penis rumor?
Yes. If I that would lead me to hurt myself. And this guy's got a big, you can't win, Pete Davidson. Just say thank you and move on.
I know. And I think also the fact that he's like, oh my God, my huge dong, it really just overtook all of the serious, important acting work I was doing.
Yeah, what? I mean, this guy, this guy was in the remake of Amadeus, and he had to drop out because of the big dick rumor. No, I mean, Pete, yeah, go. I don't know. I think he's a very charming dude.
He was actually. Did you know he was supposed to be Oppenheimer?
Yeah, he was. He had to drop out because he was like, they're going to say the largest bomb is in my pants. They're going to say my member is the thing.
First of all, it's oh my God, a woman getting sexualized? You're right. Everyone would be up in arms because that never happens. Shut up, Pete. And then also the fact that he has so played into it. If he's saying, oh, I'm so sick of the press and everyone focusing on my personal life, it's we're in a relationship with Kim Kardashian.
Exactly. That's what he is so to blame for this, because it's hey, why don't we just take a step back and go, the women that you chose were literally the women with the biggest magnifying glass. And if you want to talk about sexualized, let's talk about Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
And the fact that you put yourself out there, what did you think the narrative was going to be? You think Kim Kardashian, dating, amazing thespian? It's going to be no. He was a Lothario at that point that happened to be one of the biggest comedians. And it did eclipse what he was doing work-wise. But you dated Kim Kardashian after Kanye West.
Yeah. And not only Kim Kardashian, Kate Beckinsale, Madeline Klein, M. Rada, the
Hillary
girl
Clinton.
from Bridgerton. Who?
Hillary Clinton.
The girl from Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Come on.
How about just date a normie? Just date a normie.
Well, now, I feel now that he is, I mean, she's not even a normie. She's a model. But now that he's with a model who's not a household name, he's oh my God, all I ever wanted was privacy. Shut up, Pete.
Well, I mean, listen, I want him to be happy. I'm glad they're expecting. I hope he can come down to earth. And eventually one day, 30 years from now, he's going to want those big dick rumors out there. He's going to want that. Yeah. Speaking of men that are boys, Leonardo DiCaprio sat down with filmmaker Paul Thomas Anderson in Esquire magazine to promote their new film, One Battle After Another. And there were some great takeaways from this article. There was one quote where he was asked, if you didn't know how old you are, Leonardo, how old are you right now? And DiCaprio replied, 32.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Sounds about right.
He just turned 50, but he says, and I just thought, how amazing and lucky to be in his position. Because I think all of us, we all feel like kids still in some degree. We all still I can't believe we grew up, but we have all these responsibilities and all this actual life where, yeah, man, I feel I don't know what the F I'm doing all the time, but then you have to pay bills and do grown up stuff, and people pass away and die. And this guy's out there 32. And then I'm I wish the follow-up question was how old emotionally do you think the women are that you date?
Yeah. I mean, he really doesn't have the responsibilities that a normal 50-year-old man would have. He's chosen not to have a family, which is perfectly okay. But that means his life is a lot of flouncing around on yachts with supermodels and
he's still, it's
maybe
been 3 weeks.
Escorts Lily Chi and Tobey Maguire. He's still pussy posseing it up. It's
yeah. Well, in some ways, we should encourage strong friendships like the Pussy Posse. I'm glad they didn't all break up. But he's now been on a yacht 3 weeks, I think. And it's like, I love Leo DiCaprio yachting season. And he's still with, what's his girlfriend's name? Victoria Soretti?
Victoria Soretti. Yeah.
So they've been going strong a couple of years, so it'll be interesting to see when he gets to that Warren Beatty and that Benning phase, where Warren Beatty was kind of the DiCaprio of his day, and eventually he did this movie Bugsy, which he was starred in, and then Annette Bening was the leading lady, and Warren was like, no, I'm settling down, and I'm having a family. And he was in his 60s at the time.
I mean, we'll see. Wasn't George Clooney ended up settling down later also?
Yeah, later as well with Amal
He was
Clooney,
another one. Yeah, he was another one where everyone was like, he's like a perpetual bachelor.
Yeah, no, totally. Speaking of normies, this is exciting, Sophie, and I really am curious about your answer to this. Is that we got news on Thursday that NBC is launching a full civilian normie version of The Traitors. They're going to ditch celebrity reality stars and instead bring in everyday people. It's going to be the same host, Alan Cumming, at the same Scottish castle. Its production's going to begin in 2026, and it's likely going to premiere at the end of 2026 in quarter 4, they say, Q4. And this is not Peacock. The celebrity version will still be on Peacock, but this is just for NBC with normies. And you can apply. There is links to apply for casting right now. Will you be, or have you applied already for The Traitors?
Ryan, that's so rude that you think I would be on the normie season.
You're holding out for the celebrity. Okay, that's a fair point, that you are holding out for the celebrity version. I love
I'm just
that.
Kidding. I actually thought about it. I was like, should I apply? I don't know. I kind of want to.
You should. I mean, you definitely should. I did a little TikTok or something about it, and I think everybody was like, "You're gonna play? Oh my God, you're gonna do it?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna even are you kidding me? No, I don't."
Wait, why wouldn't you?
Okay, I mean, it's what we talk about every week. What facet of your personality would they harp on? And I think you would see my extreme insecurity, and I would go up and I would ask everybody hey, do you guys like me? Do you want to hang out with me? Is it cool that I'm here? I would literally it would be so humiliating to see that on a massive scale. And then I just know that I couldn't handle it.
I would be the first one banished just because people don't like me. They're she's so fucking annoying. I would walk up to everyone and be like, so what are you guys talking about? Are you guys talking about me?
Well, no, but I still am I want to play Mafia and those games with a group of friends. I just got to get a group of friends, but I want to play it on a non-filmed version. But that's out there, you guys. So
I'm so excited.
And speaking of the season 4 of The Traitors, it's going to come out in January. I think it's either right before the Olympics starts, or they might hold it right after the Olympics. But Alan Cumming, the host, said in an interview this week, which I thought was awesome. He had this quote that I loved where he said, about halfway through this season, there is a scene in it that is the greatest moment in Traitors history. Honestly, I just cannot wait for the world to see it. It's utter carnage and utter just mad. It's just brilliant.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, does it involve Lisa Rinna? Does it involve Donna Kelsey? Does Donna Kelsey go I'll fucking have Taylor's people kill you?
I'm so excited for whatever it is. I feel like it must be some crazy blindside. I feel like that's always the best in on the Traitors. And I've watched all of the international Traitors too. There is nothing. And same with Survivor. There's nothing like a blindside. Ugh.
Which I forgot to tell you last week, but I did it pre your segment on last Mondays. Survivor versus the World premiered this past week, which is an Australian version of Survivor, but it has Sari Fields and Parvati and all of these stars, but I have to get a VPN to watch it. I think somebody said there was a leak on YouTube, but have you already started watching this, or did you find it?
No, I would like to.
Yeah, it's called Survivor versus the World, and it's only an 8-episode series. They only filmed it over a course of a couple weeks, but it's the best from all the international versions, David Gannat, I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but it's supposed to be really good.
Oh my God, I want to watch it.
Yeah. Okay, so Traitors, everybody apply. And also, this is the same thing with Love Island. I don't want influencers. I don't want people with 1 million following already.
Wait, on the Traitors normie season?
Yeah, I don't want I love Teffy and stuff, but I don't want Teffy on Trait. They're already not normies to me. I want normies.
I think what's really special, in my opinion, about the UK seasons, which I know you've also watched, is that like the people in the UK seasons are like, I'm not here for like fame or any of that. Like, I'm here because I literally need this money for like IVF or for this or that. They have like real reasons for like needing the money.
Yeah. Well, the
That's
article
what I
about
wanna
it,
see.
though, but NBC said the article about it, they want normies, but they want normies so they'll actually have like a new crop of talent to then throw in other reality shows. So if you make this, NBC has their eyes on this cast to have shows based around it. Because remember, Aaron from last season of Love Island USA, he came from the UK version of the Traitors. He actually
Yes. Oh my God, we were
very,
just
very
talking about
far.
him this weekend because we were watching, was it Beyond
you were watching
the
Love
Villa?
Island Beyond the Villa, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, Aaron.
Yeah, no, I mean, so they are looking for a new crop of people that they can put in other reality shows and other Peacock shows. So I thought that was really interesting. Like, the business of it is what fascinates me, is that they really, you know, it's like when Donald Trump did The Apprentice, but then they did Celebrity Apprentice. Like, they really, once they have some sort of hit, they're going to find a way to monopolize it and like take it out of streaming, put it on a network, and then those reruns will go back onto Peacock. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Listen, thoughts and prayers. I don't know if you saw any of this, but Brandi Glanville right now from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is doing another press run where it's all about like the parasite that she thinks she got in the face and that she can't put food on the table and that she's really struggling. And she was on like Entertainment Tonight, Page 6, and she did a full press run to really kind of say, I am barely surviving right now, and my kids are worried for me. And it was so sobering. And I don't know, man. Like, first off, I don't think she ever had a face parasite. I think she fucked up her face with like doing face work on it. And but you know, there's always a tendency to blame Bravo because she was in the Ultimate Girls Trip Morocco season, which we'll never see because of Caroline Manzo.
Yeah.
But do you ever see any of this? Because it's very alarming. And I think it's very different to do a press tour just to let people know that you are not okay.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Like it's sad. It's
yeah.
Last I saw, she had nared her face.
Sophie, if you have a face parasite, why don't we leave our face alone entirely? Why do we even put anything on our face at this point? You nared your face and then showed social media. And to me, then it was like, is this a stunt? Is this like,
it all seems
tell
like
us what you need.
It seems like a cry for help. And it's like,
Huge.
where are her people?
I know, that's what makes me so sad. And it's like, I don't know. Like, and I don't blame Bravo for this because this is what we always talk about too, is that like, the reasons why sometimes I like Heather Dubrow or Sutton Strack is because I know when their time ends on this show, they're going to be okay financially. I don't have to worry about them. Just like, you know, even though we dislike Jax Taylor, I do wonder, what is this guy going to do now? And Brandi, you know, like, remember Brandi at her, like at her pinnacle on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and how powerful she was and how funny and used sex as a weapon and drinking and tweeting and all of this stuff. And to see, you know, 12, 13 years down the line, it's really sobering. And I hope other reality stars pay attention to this kind of stuff.
It's very sad. Yes, I agree. And I think that that's why there are reality stars like that who take such a dark turn after I'm like, who else? Like, I know there are more that I can't think about, like Lynn Curtin from Real Housewives of OC and her daughters. And it's like you are on top of the world on reality TV, it feels like. And then all of a sudden you don't have that. You don't have the attention. You don't have that stream of income. And then it's like, now what?
I mean, no, truly. Like, I mean, I think I would almost be proud if like Brandi came out, I was like, so I'm going back to college, you know, like let's do a college fund for Brandi. Like, let's get her, like, I mean, we got to help herself. And I'm not trying to be unfeeling because I do worry about her when I see this, but I've never seen such a like kind of my life is shit press tour.
Yeah, that's literally the press tour. My life is shit.
Yeah, that's it. So
my life is shit, the tour.
The tour. As we wind down here, speaking of former reality stars, Kate Gosselin from John and Kate Plus 8, she did a little bit of a press run-up this week where she let us know that she had to return to nursing, and she is working 12-hour shifts in pediatric home health care in North Carolina. And she's now on TikTok. She's doing TikTok lives, which is always troubling. And she said, reality TV doesn't pay as well as it should when you have to provide for 8 kids on your own. And there has been so much strife, like Colin Gosselin, one of her sons, now 21, has accused his mother of forcing his siblings apart and seeing abuse in his upbringing, claiming he was isolated and locked in a room as a child. But Kate's one of those, Kate's very different than Brandy of she's like, I'm going to pull it up by the bootstraps and I'm going back to nursing. And then now trying to do full time on TikTok, it seems, to build that audience. And it's another thing of the 8 kids got to, she said the money paid for all of their colleges, but not much more else than that.
Yeah. And at what cost, Yeah.
At what cost? Exactly. To wrap it up today, 2 last things. Quickly, what did you think of the Salt Lake City trailer for season 6, which premieres September 16th?
Gout dick sucker.
Sophie, I didn't realize she was saying gout. So I heard it. I heard the dick sucker, but I didn't know what that word was. And one of your snark baiters told me it was gout. And I was like, oh, of course Lisa Barlow goes, you gout dick sucker. Who even thinks of gout dicks? That Lisa Barlow's mind is so amazing to think gout dick sucker. I would never be able to do that.
Because what's his name has gout?
Todd?
Yeah,
the Todd Bronwyn, I guess. The Todd father?
Bronwyn has mentioned how he has gout, I guess.
How dare you bring up my gout on this? How dare. The Todd father has, oh my God, you gout dick sucker. That is, come on, Lisa Barlow, that's genius.
Diabolical. I'm fucking excited.
I'm really excited. And it looks like a lot of costumes. Mary Cosby's back in church. We see her with a gold microphone, which I really am worried about because Mary had a good season last season. We empathize with her a lot. If you start bringing her religion into it, I feel like there's going to be a lot of trouble. And there seems like a lot of trouble with Lisa Barlow's finances. And it's going to be interesting to see what is brought to the surface. But Salt Lake still manages to be so weird that you still laugh even through highly traumatic situations.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Salt Lake City is a really good example. I know we were talking about the Valley being too dark. Salt Lake City does a great example of having enough lightness and funny moments that balances it out.
Yeah. I totally agree. So that is September 16th. It's going to take the place on Tuesday nights of the Valley. We'll be recapping it on So Bad It's Good, and I'm sure Snarkbait will be talking about it as well. And then finally, the last thing, because it was the last show. And just like that, ended its triumphant 3-season run on HBO Max or HBO,
triumphant.
whatever we're calling it. Were you able to watch the finale since you were traveling to LA? Did you watch it?
Yes, I did watch it, and it was as bad and disappointing and just disgusting as people were saying it was, because I ended up watching it Friday. I think I watched it Friday afternoon, so I didn't watch it when it aired.
Okay, Thursday I thought you might have watched it on the plane, and I was like, were there any walkouts on the plane once that show came on?
Oh my God, it really was a slap in the face for Sex and the City fans. It's this is how.
You said this 2 weeks ago, Sophie. You said this, and you were proven right, was that Sophie was like, I think it got canceled. I was like, no way. It's top of the charts. There's no way. And then you watch this and you realize, oh, it really was canceled because there is no effing way that Michael Patrick King and Sarah Jessica Parker wanted that to be the way they went out. And it's almost a slap in the face to the audience. Just let us know, because you have us then believing that your artistic mind thought that was the proper way to end a 3-season not just the run of that show, but the historic run of Sex and the City. That's how you wanted to end it?
Right. They were like, you know what? We decided to do 2 extra episodes to give it the send-off.
Yeah, that's what he said in his statement, Michael Patrick King.
This is what you came up with? Victor Garber, the esteemed
there was shit in a toilet?
Victor Garber watching, and they showed actual shit. What?
And that all the women didn't have a scene together? You're telling me that Thanksgiving, we got introduced to 2 new characters plus the woman that Miranda's got a son, weird son knocked up.
Mia and Epcot, these people that we don't fucking care about, obviously. They wasted time on those people.
it was so weird. And like, once again, it just is what we said on the first season. It's like they unfroze Carrie Bradshaw out of ice, and it's like 30 years later, and she doesn't know what anything is. She's at a restaurant. She has to eat by herself. And she's like, I don't know how to order off a computer menu. This is crazy. It was so bizarre. And I don't know. And then at the end with her coming back and like playing the song on the karaoke machine and dancing around, I was just like, you fool.
It's crazy how tonally different it is. Like, just the tone is it's like a slapstick comedy. Whereas, like, the original Sex and the City had its funny moments for sure, but it was more like I would say it was more of like a drama. And, like, I don't know, just the tone.
No, it's just that it was so real. It wasn't drama, but it was like there was a realistic element on top of each one of those ladies being hysterically funny in their own right. And I'm not like, these ladies are doing the best with what they have to have written down there. But I mean, just like Charlotte's storyline is that Harry gets an erection all of a sudden and he has to they have to bone in the middle of the day in front of their kids. Like, that's the storyline we're going out with Charlotte on.
Yeah.
It's a man's world. We got to fuck now because Harry got hard.
Yeah.
So sad.
I know. Sad. It's genuinely sad. Like, and like you said, I wish that they had just admitted, like, hey, we got unceremoniously canceled. This was not part of the plan, and that's why you might feel extra disappointed in this series finale.
What is wrong with saying that? Because then you could eventually 5 years from now maybe do like another, like a TV movie or a Sex and the City movie 3 and not be like, because I just know it's like the cover up is worse than the lie. Like, stop acting like this wasn't canceled, because it really is just a weird, like, I'm okay if it got canceled and then I sympathize with it. Then I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like, because this was a season finale, not a series finale.
And it was definitely like a legacy ruiner. Like, it felt like a legacy
ruiner. Do you really think so?
I still love Sex and the City standalone. Love the movies. And
even
just like that,
one?
Just like the second one, but like for just like that to end like this is just like, I like the characters, weird. Just everything about it. I'm just like, and I think that people are so pissed off enough that they might pull like a Carrie Bradshaw resurrection, like Dexter Resurrection.
Oh,
no, they're like Bradshaw : New Blood, and then they botch the ending again, and then they do Bradshaw : Resurrection.
No, they pick up 10 years from now and we just hear Bradshaw, and then you see like she's in a prison cell and the prison door opens and she's like in prison club, but she's like managed to make it like a little quirky, the prison outfit, and she's in like a similar prison where it's like a reality star's in there, a la Jen Shaw, and somebody that like Theranos, and it's like, and then Ghislaine Maxwell is there, and that's like Carrie Bradshaw. Like, how did Carrie Bradshaw get in prison? Like, are you talking about something like that? Like a reboot that just really just goes south?
Yeah. Like, I think at this point, like, they can't let the show and these characters go out like this. Like, I think they're going to be forced to at some point. It might be in 10 years. This can't be the end. And the Dexter writers, I say that because I feel like the Dexter writers recognized every time the fans were upset with how the show ended, they're like, we got to pick the pen back up, because like, this is not how we can't let our viewers actually be disappointed about it.
Legitimately, one of the worst finales I've ever seen was that Dexter finale. The OG Dexter finale was and he had a weird patchy beard. Like, it was so fucking weird.
People were so mad about it that they did Dexter New Blood. And then the Dexter New Blood finale was so disappointing that they did Dexter Resurrection. And I will say that I feel like Dexter talking to his son, Harrison, in Dexter Resurrection, he says, I'm not going anywhere this time. And I almost feel like that's the writers talking to Dexter viewers. They're like, okay, like, we're actually going to do this the right way now.
No, I mean, that's... and also I think too at the time, like Michael, what's the gentleman's name that plays Dexter?
Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall. There was a time that I think he was tired of playing Dexter and it was time to end it. And then 10 years goes by and you're like, you know what? That actually was pretty good money. Like, that actually was really good money.
He's so good.
He was that, and like, God, I wish there was a 6 Feet Under resurrection so bad, but they can't. I mean, that was a perfect ending to a series, that series finale.
That's how you do do a season finale or series finale correctly, for sure.
Okay, so Snarkbait special emergency Kanye episode airs Monday afternoon. On top of Tuesday, we have a brand new episode that was recorded in a studio in Los Angeles. So you're going to want to subscribe, do all of the things. And then I also just briefly wanted to ask you that I woke up to a bunch of DMs, and I'm not good at checking all my DMs, but I thought something was wrong. I was like, oh shit, did I do something really messed up? I was like, people were really pissed off about the Sherry Papini interview. And then it turned out Alex Cooper had used your voice in a TikTok for the Kid Cudi episode. And we had talked about Kid Cudi a couple of weeks ago. You had said, but you had talked about this, and then they pulled that audio. They didn't give you any credit. And then they put it on one of the promotional clips for Call Her Daddy for Alex Cooper.
Yeah. And this is another thing we talk about on Dark Energy Tuesday tomorrow on Snarkbait. But yeah, like it was a TikTok that I had made talking about how Kid Cudi, like every famous hot guy is like, I wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for Kid Cudi.
You said your husband.
Even my husband, but also like Timothée Chalamet, Joe Burrow, who else? Drew Starkey, who I love, Travis Scott. Like all of these celebrity men are like, I owe Kid Cudi my entire life. And so I like just made a TikTok about that like sometime last year, I think, and it went semi-viral. And instead of using my original sound, So
this was from last year, that TikTok?
Yeah, it was from like last.
Oh, I thought it was like probably in the last couple of weeks, because we just talked about Kid Cudi a couple weeks ago, so I thought it was like on your mind.
No, it was like back in like December, I want to say. But yeah, instead of using my original sound or crediting me, she just took my sound, made a new video with it, and didn't credit me, which like, it's not like the end of the world. I'm not like, oh my God, I need the TikTok followers. Like, I don't really care about getting TikTok followers, but still, it's like
nice.
Yeah.
Well, did it leave you feeling unwell?
Yeah, fucking unwell.
So anyway, but I think that's good signs. When things like that start happening, I mean, I just, it all leads to something, like in the, it's good overall. It shows that your work is somewhat appreciated and potentially stolen. And I think that always leads to good. I mean, I remember back in the day, like having people steal my memes, and I'd be sent something by an account that had like 1 million, 2 million followers, and people would start tagging me in it. And it'd be like, oh, it was so weird. People would just be, and they would like knock out any kind of identifying marks of my account. And I always thought that was like so bizarre, because it's like credit is so easy to give out, and it doesn't really, you're still great. It doesn't take anything away from you. Like there's so much to go around.
Yeah, stealing content sucks, obviously. I think it's just like the internet is the wild, wild west. It's like you can't take it too personally as much as it fucking sucks.
Well, Kid Cudi's, his memoir came out last week, and he's somebody that hates your new friend Kanye as well. He refuses to, he says their friendship is over the Virgil Abloh, I'm going to piss on Virgil Abloh's grave comment that Kanye made. So, interesting.
You know what? Like, all roads in the rap world these days lead to me.
Yep, leads to Sophie. Wu-Tang Clan, you have 7 days to do something, Sophie. But it is interesting. What if you were the thing that banded Kanye and Kid Cudi back together? Because you said the Kid Cudi comments, you met Kanye. It is some weird kind of manifestation that you don't know if there is some sort of intelligent design happening, where maybe maybe we are AI ourselves, and this is like what's going to be next. So tune into Snarkbait to find out what's next. Make sure to give it a good rating, all the things, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. It was awesome to see Sophie and her crew on Friday. And anything else that we got to know, Soph?
No, I feel like that's about it.
Oh, I forgot to flip and say, I just really quickly, shout out to our listener, Zoe Deschanel, who I met last night at Rob Minkoff's birthday party, Crystal Minkoff's husband. And I met Zoe Deschanel and her fiance, Jonathan Scott, one of the Property Brothers. And she's followed me on Instagram for a while. And she was like, oh my God, I listen to your podcast. And then she made me do a video of my Tom Sandoval imitation to send to her friend Nicole. So Nicole, if you're listening, hello. So I had to do like a Tom Sandoval imitation in front of the party. Dude, what's up? I was like, what's up, dude? It's Tom Sandoval wishing you what's up. Like, yeah, it was but that was mind-blowing.
I love how Zoe Deschanel was like, dance monkey. And you were like,
I was like, how hard? I was like, I'll dance. How hard, man?
Do you think that she listens to Pop Culture Mondays, or do you think she skips? She's like, I hate that bitch on Mondays.
She did. No. She did say she's like not watched it as much Bravo recently. And she doesn't go on like the internet as much. Like she's like, it's not as healthy, but we were, actually we exchanged numbers. I think we're going to go on a double date. I'm not joking. So that was very, very funny. I was like, that's crazy. But she was
By the way,
cool.
This is what Ryan was telling me when 5 minutes later I was like, oh, I met Kanye West.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, guys, that's why I thought it was a prank, because I thought she was like, oh, you just bragged about Zoe.
I was trying to one-up you.
Then I was like, because the guys, what you see, go look at the photo right now when you follow Sarah. It looks like AI. The face is so smooth on Kanye that I was like, there's no way this is real, but it was real.
It was real, all right. It was real.
Okay. Have a great week. We'll be here all week, you guys. Also, Snarkbait, 3 episodes this week, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.